Hello, welcome to another video in the Sudoku Primer series. This time we're going to solve a medium puzzle, puzzle number 61 from Sudoku To Go, volume 103 by Soap Opera Digest. On this puzzle, I saw this is a really good example of the L pattern, and so I wanted to talk about the L pattern here, and if I see any other patterns as I go, I'll talk about those too. I was going to do a pop quiz on this medium puzzle, but then I saw this L pattern and thought it would be good to talk about. So I'll do that. There's an L pattern right here and an L pattern right here. And let's look at these numbers first. We've got four numbers outside of that L pattern, this L pattern. There's a 5 here, so one of these is a 5. Therefore one of these is a 5, and there's a 5 there, so one of these and one of these is a 5. Then we've got an 8, 3, 7 here. There's a 3 and a 7 here already, so one of these is an 8, and we can fill that in because we've got 8's there. So we'll put that 8 there. Okay, and then let's look at this L pattern. We've actually got 5 numbers outside of that L pattern now. We got an 8, which we just filled in. We've got an 8 here and an 8 here. We can just put that in. I'll just throw that one in. An 8 there. So we got an 8 and a 3, and we've already got an 8 and a 3 here. So we know one of these is a 3 because we filled in the 8 already. And then we've got a 1, 7, and 4 right here. We've got a 7 here already. So we know these are 1 and 4, and they're 1, 4 twins. Okay. But then another thing we'll notice is let's see, we've got 1, 7, 4, 8, 3 here. So these are 1, 4, 7, 8, 3. So the 7's will be in the middle here in this box. The 8's already filled in. The 4 will be over here. Oh, and I forgot to mention, okay, we got a 1, 4 twins here. We've got a 1 and a 4 here too, so we have 1, 4 twins here also. Now, these 1, 4 twins we can solve because of that 4 right there. So I'll put those in. And that leaves only 2 numbers here in this box, and only 2 numbers here. Let's see what those are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 and 6, and there's a 2 there. So we have a 2 here and a 6. And that only leaves 2 numbers in this column here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 and 5, and there's a 5 there. So that's a 3, and there's a 5. Now we know these are 1, 4 twins. We discovered those a minute ago. We can't solve those, but that will help us on this column because now we've only got 3 empty cells that and we can find out what those 3 numbers are. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 5, and 6. There's a 5 here, so we know one of these is a 5. And we knew that from here before. But then we've got 2 and 6, and I don't see any 2's and 2 5's and 6's here. So we still can't solve those, but let's look at this column here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 2, 6, 7, 9. Here's a 6, so 2, 7, 9, 2, 6, 7, 9, 2, 6, 7, 9, and 2, 6. There's a 7 and 9 there, so that's a 2 or a 6. So we can't solve any of those. Okay. But you saw how these L patterns here helped us find a bunch of numbers. When you have an L pattern, like this L pattern right here, you can look at these three numbers to possibly go in here, and these numbers to possibly go in here. And if you find numbers here, anywhere here that go in here, then you know the other number, like the 1, 4 in this case, go here. We knew that 1 and 4 go here, because this column already had a 1 and 4, and this column already had a 1 and 4. So that's what you can do with an L pattern. It helps you find out which column or row each number goes in. With this 8, we had an 8 here and an 8 here, and so we knew that an 8 had to go in this column, in this box here. Okay. Same with the 9s here. So one of these are a 9. We got a 9s in this middle column here. So L patterns can be very helpful. I'm going to do a little more on L patterns on another video, because there's other things you can do with them. But let's just go through and see if we can find some more numbers. We won't go through sections yet. I'd like to just kind of see if we can find some more numbers. Like here's a 4 and a 4. There's a 4 and a 4 there, so that's a 4. We know one of these is a 5, and we've got a 5 here and a 5 here, so we know these are ghost 5s, these two right here, so we know that's a 5 because of these ghost 5s here. Okay, and here we've got a 5, here we've got a 5, there we've got a 5, so that's a 5 there. Therefore we know that can't be a 5, so that's a 5 right there. And we've got a 5 here and a 5 here and a 5 there, so we know that's a 5. And that should be it with our 5s. Yeah, 5s are done. Okay, now let's look at what do we have here? 2 and a 6, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 2 and 6. Okay, so we can't solve either of those yet. But yeah, you notice that I'm looking for, boxes and rows and columns with only a couple of cells left. Like we've got these two rows here that don't have many numbers left, and these two here. So we can focus on things like that. Let's see if we can find some more numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for this row, we need 2, 3, and 6. There's a 3, so 2, 6. There's a 3, so 2, 6. So we have 2, 6 twins here, 2, 6, 2, 6. So that's a 3. Another way to look at that is we got a 3 here, so that can't be a 3. 3 here, so that can't be a 3, so that has to be a 3. And the 2 6s we can't solve yet. Here we got a 6, and we got a 6 there, so one of these 3 is a 6. Alright. Let's look at this row right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 6, and 9. I don't have anything there. 2, 6, 9. Got a 9 there, so 2, 6. 6 there, so 2, 9. So we can't do anything with those yet, but notice that there are 2, 6, and 9 here, and there's also 2, 6, and 9 here. Interesting relationship. We've got a row with 3 cells missing and a box with 3 cells missing, and they need the same 3 numbers, 2, 6, and 9. We can't solve any of them right now. Okay, let's look at this row right here. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. So 7 and 8, and there's an 8 there. Okay. And now that I've filled in the 7s, that 7 and 8, let's see if we can find any more numbers. 8, 8, 8, those are all done. 8, 8, 8, those are done. But we have a 7, 7. So one of these is a 7. 7 here. And a 7, 7 there. So there's a 7 there. So one of these three is a 7. Here we've got a 7 and 9s, so these are 7 and 9 and one other number. Let's see if we can find another number. Can't be a 5, can't be a 4, can't be a 3, can't be a 1. Okay, sometimes you can find triplets that way. Still have a 1, 4 twins here, and what is left here? 2, 2 and 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 2 and 6. So we've got 2, 6 here, 2, 6 here, and 2, 6 here. So as soon as we find one of those numbers, we'll be able to fill all those in. Right, let's see. Let's look at this bottom row here. We're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 6. Here's a 2, so neither of those can be a 2, so we know that's a 2. So we got 1 and 6 there. There's a 1. Okay. And now we've only got two numbers left here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 and 9. There's a 4. So 4, 9. Okay, so we know one of these is a 9 because we've got a 9 there. So one of these is a 9. And we can look at this column right here. We've only got 3 cells missing. 3, 4. 3, 4, and 9 we're missing there. There's a 3 and a 4, so we can't do anything with that. Let's look at this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 6, and 9. Okay. Now we've got this row that needs a 2, 6, and 9. This column which needs a 2, 6, and a 9. And this box which needs a 2, 6, and 9. But I don't think we can solve any of those yet. And let's look at this column right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. 2, 6, and 7 we're missing there. There's a 6, 2, 7. There's a 2, 6 because there's 7s there, and 2, 6, 7. So we can't solve those. Let's look at this. This box here is only missing 3 numbers. 1, 3, 6. 1, 3, and 6. There's a 3, there's a 6, so we can't solve those. Okay. So at this point, let's go through sections. We haven't done sections yet on this puzzle. We've got a 1, 1, so there's a 1. 1, 1. So one of these is a 1. There's our 1, 4 twins. A 1, 1, 1. So we have ghost ones here and a 1 there, so we know that's a 1 right there. Okay, so we have a 1 here and a 1 here. So one of those has to be a 1. Okay. Let's look at 2s now. There's a 2. So 2, 2, 2. There's a 2 there. So 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2, 2, 2. 3s. 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay. Here's a place where we have two cells that can be a 3. Either of those can be a 3 at this point. And so let's look. We've got an 8, 4, and 5 here, and 8, 4, and 5 there. So now I was looking for a twin to that 3, but we won't be able to do that there. So we got 3, 3, and then over here we got a 3 there and a 3 there. So one of those is a 3. 3, 3, 3. So that's a 3 right there. Okay, and now we know that's a 3 because we found that 3. Now we got a 3 and a 3, so that's a 3 right there because we got a 3 there and a 3 there. Okay. Okay, let's look for 4s now. 4, 4, 4, 4. So one of those is a 4. Those are our 1, 4 twins we know of. 4, 4, 4. So there's a 4 right there. And with that 4 right there, we can fill in these 1, 4 twins that we've known about for a while. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And I just noticed there's only one number missing there in that column, and that was a 9. Okay, let's do our 5s now. 5, 5, 5. Oh, we're done with our 5s, that's right. Okay, 6s. Let's see. Any of those can be a 6. Those are our 2 6 twins. And there's a 6 there. So we know that's a 6 right there. And that's a 6 right there. Okay, so one of these is a 6. 6, 6. Yeah, because we got a 6 there. So one of those is a 6. There's a 6. So here's one of our 2 6 twins. So we know that's a 2. We know that's a 2. We know that's a 6. So we've finally got to our 2 6 twins that we knew about here. And we're only missing one number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's a 9. So now we have 9, 9, 9. There's a 9 there. And if I remember right, that should be a 6 because we had 6s there. And now we've only got one number left here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's a 2. And only one number in this column, and it looks like a 6. 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6 there. Okay. Now we've got, let's see, only 2 numbers missing in this box. 1, 2, 7. 2 and 7. We can't solve them. We don't have a 2 or a 7 here. So let's look at this column right here. We're only missing 3 numbers. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 7, and 9. Got a 9 there, and that is it. So we can't solve those yet. Here we've got a loner cell. A loner cell is a cell in this box. It's the only cell that's not in this column. So we can look at all 6 of these numbers and we can find out which number that is. 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5. They're already in there, so it can't be those. 2, 3, 8. And there's a 3 and there's an 8, so we know that's a 2. Now we could have seen, I saw that was a loner cell before I noticed that there's only one number left in this column. So I could have found it that way. But loner cells are good sometimes, especially when we have other numbers missing in a column or in a row. Okay, now we've only got 3 numbers here, so let's see. We're missing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 1, 7, and 9. There's a 1 and a 9, so that's a 7. There's a 1, so that's a 9. 1. Okay, now we've only got these 2 and these 3 numbers left, so they should be pretty easy to find. 2 and 7 there. There's a 2. So 7, 2. and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 7, and 9. There's a 7 and 9, so it's a 2. There's a 7, so that's a 9. That's a 7. Okay. So we had these L patterns here at the very beginning, and those helped us get started. And then and the L patterns are good for harder puzzles than medium. If you can find L patterns, you can use them in harder puzzles, and they come in handy. And then we used a few other techniques to finish this medium puzzle. Not too difficult a puzzle, but if you're at the level where you're solving easy and medium puzzles, then this one could be a little bit tricky for you. So, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.